Despite the head coaching change in the offseason, obviously moving on from Pete Carroll to Mike McDonald, this Seahawks team has felt exactly the same as it has for the last few years. Of course, different schematically, but still arguably the most frustrating, decent team in the NFL. So today, we are gonna try to fix the issues that have plagued this Seahawks team for a while now. And we are gonna see if we can turn this team back into the legitimate contender it once was, which feels like forever ago now. And this is gonna be an interesting one, because I'm sure, as you can tell from the intro, or if you've seen one of my videos before, this is my favorite team. Unfortunately, I realize it could be worse, but man, does this team take years off my life. And like I said, we are gonna see if we can turn this into the best team in the league, and a legit contender once again. But I want to get into this. I got a lot to say about, how I felt about the Seahawks season so far. So this is gonna be a little bit of a different rebuild, at least at the beginning. But I know this is one I see Seahawks rebuilds asked for a lot. But be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy. Sounds stupid, but it really does help out the channel. And if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video, I think we destroyed that on a recent video. And if we can hit that goal, it'll let me know y'all want to see another realistic rebuild. And speaking of that, let me know what team I should do next, preferably a currently struggling team. And I'll just do the thing where I, go through and take the time to count up all the comments and see which one has the most votes. So let me know what team I should do next. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do on the channel. But without further ado, let me give a little Seahawks rant here. I don't even know where to start with this, but obviously going from 3-0 to 4-4 isn't necessarily ideal. What also isn't ideal, and what I think is the biggest problem with this team, if you've watched the channel before, you probably know that this irks me, but it isn't necessarily ideal to have your starting offensive line be this. Even this is maybe questionable. The Seahawks have just chosen to ignore their offensive line, despite it clearly being one of the biggest issues, most of the time the biggest issue on the team. Now, they've at least made a big investment a couple years ago, spending a first-round pick on Charles Cross, but that's it. I'm sure y'all have seen the quote of John Schneider saying he doesn't value offensive line, or saying interior linemen are overpaid and overdrafted. It's clear that he thinks that, but to see a GM say that is crazy to me. So that's issue one. That's the first thing we're gonna have to fix on this team. And that was my big point in the last rebuild I did before the season, was, hey, this offensive line is horrible. To be fair, it was even worse at the time, but to be fair, it's been worse than I even expected, so I don't know. And then obviously, debatably, the even bigger issue, equally as big of a problem, is this run D, and I don't even know how to fix this. This team, honestly, is solid on paper and pretty healthy. It genuinely might just be a coaching issue. But obviously, with a really bad offensive line, it's hard to get a run game going, and just talking in the sense of this recent Bills game, it's hard to win a football game when you're getting outrushed 34 for 164, 4.8 per carry, to 17 for 32, 1.9 per carry. With probably a better running back duo, at least on paper. The Bills have good running backs too, but just this blocking is, you gotta run through a brick wall of opposing defensive linemen on each play as a running back for the Seahawks. It's not exactly easy. And then I might have saved my most controversial for last. I don't know how controversial I want to get with this, but if you think that this Bills loss was on Geno Smith, I don't know if you watched the game or not. Again, just want to say, Bills 4.8 yards per carry on the ground, Seahawks 1.9. Well, it's hard to pass the ball if the defense knows you're going to pass it every time, because the Seahawks don't really run the ball because they can't. Plus, I just feel like he played better than the box score, and the box score wasn't even that bad. No touchdown passes, but the team only put up 10 points because they can't run the ball, because the O-line is terrible. I really should have this as the starting O-line, because this is what it is. I don't know. To summarize what I'm trying to say, it's hard to be successful on offense when you have horrible blocking, whether we're talking about the run game or the pass game. Oops, I've been ranting too long. I got kicked for inactivity. All right, that's a sign to finally get into this. So our major goals today are fixing this O-line, which honestly, I feel like they have the pieces. Of course, the right tackles have been injured. That's unlucky. But honestly, the last time Abe Lucas played last year, he didn't look that good. Still might have been hurt. I don't know. And George Fant, he's very, very hit or miss. He's had a couple good years, but a couple not great years. So I don't know if the right tackle position will get much better in real life this year. We'll see. I at least think they should start Christian Haynes over Anthony Bradford. I don't know why they won't. But okay, let's finally get into this. There's a lot of work we're going to need to do with this team, even though it is decent on paper. This D-line's older. We're definitely going to need another edge rusher, like a true great one. Definitely a safety and a corner. Another receiver, probably eventually a QB. Sam Howell's become one of my least favorite players in the NFL. Not anything that, like, he's done. Nothing against him. I just don't like the people that say he should start, because they clearly didn't watch him with the Commanders last year, making actually a pretty decent O-line look like one of the worst, maybe the worst in the league. So we're probably eventually going to find a new QB, because Geno is 33. He might be 34 in real life. I don't remember. And then the big one is fixing this O-line. But all right, let's finally get into this. I'll force win the games that have already happened in real life, but we will see how this team does in year one. I mean, it is possible to make the playoffs, so we'll see. Okay, we do make the playoffs in year one. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish we didn't. I don't know how realistic it is that the Seahawks will make the playoffs at this point. I mean, there's always a chance, but I don't know. They're just not looking too great right now. They do well against teams with, bad pass rushes like the Falcons. Beat them pretty easily, but I don't know. If they have to play a good D-line, I figured the Bills game wouldn't be fun. But we're gonna have to see if we can beat the Falcons for the second time this year in the wild card. Both 9-8, both an 83 overall. I guess we're technically slightly better. We have a slightly higher overall offense. And also, something interesting is that every NFC West team made the playoffs this year. Don't know about that in real life. Maybe a couple, but the 49ers went 11-6. We went 9-8, and then the Rams and Cardinals went 8-9 and somehow made the playoffs. 2 8-9 teams and 2 9-8. I do want to go kind of quickly over the stats just because I don't know if there's going to be anything too interesting, but Geno Smith, pretty good year. We'll take that. Kenneth Walker, good year. I mean, I don't know if he's going to finish with the best stats in real life because this run blocking is not super fun to watch, but we'll see. But DK Metcalf, 1,360 yards and 12 touchdowns, 900 for Lockett, 800 for JSN. Oh yeah, Charles Cross is terrible in this game. I mean, I've seen him allow like 20 sacks, but how many sacks is he allowed in real life? I don't know how accurate PFF is with sack numbers, but apparently 1 so far in real life. Not exactly on pace for 9, but sure. And then Ernest Jones, 113 tackles, TFL's 11 for Mafe and Murphy, and not many sacks. Another kind of underrated issue for this team is there really hasn't been much pressure. Like, I thought it would be much better than it has been. But interceptions, 2 for Ernest Jones, Julian Love, and Artie Burns. He's actually solid. I like him a lot more than Trey Brown or, I don't know, Josh Jobe has been fine. It's really fun that those are the starters we're having to talk about. But yeah, statistically not too bad. I doubt we're going to have anyone for any awards. Maybe DK for like Offensive Player of the Year. He was at number 10. Byron Murphy, number 8 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's fine. But all right, these playoffs honestly don't matter too much. I mean, unless we somehow make a run, which I hope we don't. I honestly might force lose a game just because, like, in what world is this a deep playoff run type team? Okay, we win in the wild card. We're facing the Eagles. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I am gonna force lose this because no, this shouldn't happen. I don't even think we should be in the playoffs to begin with. Now, if they face the Falcons in the wild card or something, I think they would probably win that, so that's fine, but we'll stop it there. But we had a Ravens-Eagles Super Bowl. I don't know about the Eagles, but maybe the Ravens. Okay, Coach of the Year was Nick Sirianni. I don't know about that. But yeah, not a close Super Bowl. 42-14. But all right, we're finally getting into the rebuild portion of this. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is going to be the first time that I'm going to use real-life draft classes. Now, I'm sure they're going to be jank. I just downloaded one and kind of messed with it a little bit. It seems like all of them are outdated, so I just tried to find the least outdated one. I tried to move players around a little bit based off what like really recent mock drafts are projecting, just for the order players might go. So let me know in the comments if you see anything super weird, because I don't know. It's always hard doing realistic draft classes 6 months before the draft actually happens, but we'll try it out. It should be fun. But for re-signings, I mean, we're negative in cap. Should we be? I don't know if that's right. Do I have dev trait regression on? I do. I don't know what I'm doing. man. All right, I need to give everyone their dev traits back. It would be fine. I would keep it on, but the players it takes dev traits away from make no sense. We didn't really lose many though. But let me restructure some deals, and we'll see if we want to bring anyone here back, but I'm not sure. This has been a weird start to this rebuild. Okay, and I definitely think I'm gonna release Draymond Jones. Look, if you've been watching for a while, you know what I said about this signing when they made it. Wasn't exactly my favorite, and I predicted it perfectly. Before they even signed him, before there was even any rumor, I knew they were gonna sign him, and I almost predicted the contract perfectly. I guess like 3 years 45, and it was like 3 years 51 or something. I knew they were gonna do it because I didn't want them to sign him, and it's definitely worked out well for him. We'll save 16 mil with that, but we now have 26 mil in cap space. We'll pick up the 5th year for Charles Cross. Really isn't that much, only 15 mil. We'll take that. I don't know if we're gonna extend him because again, he is horrible in this game usually, but we'll see. Hopefully he isn't. Connor Williams, this is an interesting one. He's been decent in real life, except for this Bills game where he, I guess, was technically responsible for two turnovers. One a turnover on downs where he stepped on Geno Smith's foot and tripped him on 4th and inches on the goal line. And then another where he snapped the ball way over Geno's head. He's been decent for the most part, but why am I going to release him? That's not what I'm trying to do. Like, other than that, he's been probably the second best lineman, but he still hasn't been great. We'll probably re-sign him though, because like, we need to keep any decent lineman we have. Okay, never mind. Cool. I guess the green interest means nothing. But Tyrell Dodson, he's been decent. We'll go 3 years, 28. That's kind of expensive. Okay, he doesn't take it. I'm fine with that. Jaron Reed has been good. He's regressing, but why not? We need to re-sign someone. And then everyone else, I think we'll let go. We might bring one of these two back. Actually, the tag for Connor Williams is cheaper than what he was asking. 1 year, 10 mil. Sure, why not? But I don't know how active we're going to be in free agency just because we don't really have any money still. And it's kind of terrible anyways. There isn't really anyone I would want. So for this first year, we'll just get straight to the draft and we'll see what we can do. We're probably not going to have as good of a pick as the Seahawks will in real life, but I think y'all know what position I'm going to go with the first pick. But okay, in the draft, the Patriots have the #1 pick. That's fine, but the Broncos have #2. Aren't they like 5-3? That was one of my prouder takes before the year, or at least so far I'm proud of it. I thought they were a sleeper team heading into the year, and they've been good. They started off bad, but I mean, they've been pretty decent. Definitely not #2 pick bad, but we pick at number 25. Also, the Jets were a conference championship team, apparently. Most of the playoff teams were kind of realistic, but also Jags, Seahawks. I don't know about that. But all right, let's get to pick 25. We're not going to trade up or anything. There are thankfully a decent amount of projected like late first, early second linemen. Oh, and whoa, Will Campbell was the #1 pick. You know, I get it. Their O-line has been so bad that I kind of get it. Luther Burden to the Browns, I mean, that could happen. They would probably go QB, but I don't know. Did any QBs go at all? Wait, Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to 11 to the Buccaneers? I don't know about that, but sure. Is he the only QB that's been taken? Where's Cam Ward? I have Cam Ward as a pretty good overall. I don't know how he hasn't been taken, but sure. Washington State legend Cam Ward, by the way. Also, let me know if my QB rankings are weird. I've seen some boards that have like Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers still in the top 10, and then I've seen some that have them as like 2nd to 3rd round picks now, so I don't know what to do with that information. But yeah, we're gonna go with alignment. Also, this is gonna drive me crazy. Whenever you switch to a new position, it like resets the order, so you have to resort it. I don't know why, but unfortunately, a lot of the linemen have been taken already. I've actually seen Wyatt Millum mocked to the Seahawks in the 1st round, so he might be my pick. We would be playing him at left guard though, obviously. We could also go Tyler Booker, Josh Simmons, I guess. I think I'll just go Tyler Booker. You know, pretty solid guard build at 6'5", 352. So we'll take him. Ranked 41, got him at 25. We'll take it. Also, I don't know how accurate the ratings are. His ratings honestly didn't look that good, but I didn't really mess with those, so we'll see how he looks. Cam Ward fell to the second round. I need to find a way to make the quarterbacks go earlier, because I remember that being a thing last year too. There was a big run on QBs. Ward went, then Milrow, then Beck, then Dart, all back to back to back to back. But all right, round 2, we definitely need a number 2 outside corner. I did move some guys around based on like where they're maybe projected to go. I don't know. Let me see, where's Tommy Hill projected to go? It looks like he has pretty good ratings. Okay, I mostly see things saying 4th to 5th round. I don't know if we're gonna take him yet. Let's take a depth pass rusher, maybe a developmental guy, hopefully. I might go with Jalen Walker here. It seems like he's a hybrid type, which, you know, would definitely fit for this defense. I don't know if it's realistic that he would go here, but to be fair, it looks like he's a early 2nd round projection, but to be fair, I feel like realism's kind of out the window with this draft with, you know, Cam Ward going in the 2nd round of the Raiders. I mean, maybe a fall off happens in real life, who knows? But I'm going to take Jalen Walker. I think this would be really fun. He could even play year 1 at off-ball linebacker a little bit. Ranked 106, took him at 57. Okay, he's not great. I definitely think I'm going to give him a ratings boost once I get to linebackers. Looks like he's been pretty good this year. And then last pick, let's go with... who's good? Connor Colby? I mean, we do maybe need another lineman. Actually, it should be fine now. Let's go with a D lineman or a corner. Should we go with... okay, never mind, he's gone. Okay, round 3, I think we'll go with Howard Cross. It looks like he's maybe projected to be a 3rd round pick. I'm definitely a casual with college football until it comes to draft time, but I do know who Howard Cross is, at least. So, we'll take him. Okay, he sucks. Cool. Are there any good players? Where are the good players? I'm definitely gonna make him a higher overall. I thought he was a projected, like, 1st round pick at one point. Maybe I'm crazy, but again, I know who he is. But all right, I'll sim the rest of this out and we will see how we do. But okay, here's how we did in the draft. This was definitely an interesting one. I mean, we got a few starters. I mean, our first 2 picks should get a decent amount of playing time this year, so it doesn't look that good on paper, but I definitely lowered a decent amount of the overalls in this class. Some are still high, but for the most part, they're lower. That's interesting. I also think I'm gonna go through and change all the names that got censored. Nick Scorton got censored for some reason. You know, like I said, the first time using a draft class, there's gonna be a little jank, but most of these picks, you know, could be realistic. Some of them maybe. But I mean, this is gonna be an interesting franchise. Some of these QBs, like Cam Ward on the Raiders, Jalen Milrow on the Giants, Carson Beck on the Saints, it's gonna be interesting. The Steelers got Quinn Ewers. As you can see, I'm not the biggest Quinn Ewers fan from what I've seen. We'll see though. But yeah, apparently the CPU agreed we needed O-line. It took Eli Cox, who I changed to Cax, because it doesn't let you put Cox, even though that's literally a last name, a pretty common one. And then Peyton Collins. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know who that is, but we'll take it. And then I took Connor Colby because he was a decent overall. But yeah, definitely a draft of all time. But let's get into year 2. And I mean, at least on paper, we have a pretty solid team that should develop a decent bit this year. But okay, heading into year 2, we're looking pretty great, honestly. I mean, we're only an 82 overall, but the team feels much more complete this year. I'm mostly talking about the offensive line, of course. Also, I didn't really mention, but I started Christian Haynes at right guard last year, something the Seahawks. Christian Haynes, like Anthony Bradford must have some dirt on the organization or something, or Christian Haynes did something with like Mike McDonald's mom or something. I don't know why they have an obsession with Anthony Bradford when you have a better backup, like much better. At least, you know, it would be hard to be worse. So I started him. I know he hasn't been starting, but it's my team now, all right? So he should develop even more this year, hopefully. And I mean, now this is a pretty good O-line. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's super young and should develop. But the defense is interesting. We still probably need a safety. I still think Kobe Bryant would be a better outside corner than anything else, but they've just loved to play him everywhere but outside corner. He's actually been pretty decent at free safety this year, though, so we'll keep him there. But I mean, really, the team didn't change that much this offseason, mostly just rookies, because we didn't have any money, really, to do much. But this offseason, things should change a little bit. We're going to be losing some older players. This might be the last year we have Tyler Lockett, probably Jaron Reed, too, so we should make more changes this offseason. But let's finally get into year 2. Let's get to the midseason point, and we will see how this team does. Okay, at the midseason point of year number 2, we are 6-0. Didn't necessarily expect that, but we'll take it. How are we 6-0? This really isn't that good of a team yet. I mean, we're an 83 overall. Where does that rank? I mean, it's a good team. They're definitely better. We're like kind of mid, it looks like, maybe, you know, the mid to good range. Probably just mid, though. How are we 6-0? I mean, Geno Smith isn't doing that great, putting up a tragic day stat line. I guess the opposite, but still close enough. Oh, Kenneth Walker, 5.8 yards per carry. Yeah, that'll do it. Also, Tyler Lockett, I don't know how he's our number one, but 500 yards. Kind of wish that was DK, because again, this is probably his last year here. Charles Cross and Connor Williams are terrible. I'm probably going to bench Connor Williams. And Boye Mafe has 8.5 sacks. I don't know if he's ever gotten more than 6 for me in a rebuild. I mean, he probably did last year. He had 6 last year. I don't know. I guess he does well sometimes now that I think about it. Definitely hit or miss, though. And we have a few picks. 2 for Kobe Bryant. Sure. Well, let's bench Connor Williams. I don't know if we should mess with anything because we're undefeated, but I mean, he's been pretty bad. I kind of like Oluwatimi, but we'll see. I thought he did fine last year. But we have some re-signings, of course. We have 161 mil. I forgot this team is set up this way, where every contract expires in the same year. This is kind of tough. Well, DK, we're obviously going to re-sign. I mean, there are trade rumors for him. I don't know why they would do that. He definitely has fumbling and just hands issues in general, but I mean, other than that, he's good. He really is super cheap, though. 4 years, 99 mil, even after I upped it a little bit. He's probably going to get more than that in real life, but he takes it. Kenneth Walker having a monster year. We'll bring him back. Imagine how good he would be with a decent offensive line in front of him. Even decent. But he resigns. He was also pretty cheap, only like 11 mil a year. Tariq Woolen, I feel like he's become one of the most underrated players in the league. For some reason, still has normal dev in Madden. I gave him star. What I do in rebuilds is sometimes I'll like take star dev away from players that I think don't deserve it and then give them to players that I think deserve it more. I keep the same amount of dev traits to keep it fair, but yeah, I feel like it would make more sense for Tariq Woolen to have star dev than I think Trevis Gibson had star dev. So I think Tariq Woolen's a little more deserving. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. And then Boye Mafe, I am actually not gonna re-sign him yet. It's just a conspiracy theory I have, but I feel like re-signing players in Madden makes them play worse for the rest of the year. So I'm not gonna re-sign him yet. We'll see how he finishes the year. Noah Fant isn't interested. I didn't love that contract. I mean, it was fine. Kind of glad it's over. I don't think I'm gonna bring him back, but we'll see. And then Abe Lucas, kind of the same deal with Boye Mafe. Especially with linemen, if you re-sign him at the midseason, they're gonna suck for the rest of the year, at least from experience. Tyler Lockett isn't interested. Geno Smith, 1 year, 18 mil. That's fine. He isn't doing great, but that's cheap. Kobe Bryant, he'll probably be a backup next year, but why not? There are a ton of re-signings. And then Michael Dixon, sure. God, and we'll also have the 5th year for Devin Witherspoon and JSN. Fun. This team's gonna get really expensive again really quick. But I think we're done here, so let's get to the end of the year and we will see if we can somehow keep this up. I mean, we don't really deserve to be 6-0, but we'll see how we finish. Okay, at the end of year number 2, we finish 14-3. Whenever I see this screen with no game, I get scared because I think we lost, or we just didn't make the playoffs, but we of course got a first round bye, thankfully. Again, I don't know that we deserved it, but we'll take it. Geno Smith was okay. 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, that's cool, but 19 picks. Don't love that. We might start looking for a new QB. I don't know. Y'all know I'm a Geno Smith defender, obviously, but I mean, he's not doing that well here, at least. I mean, in real life, he doesn't put up crazy numbers. He puts up about these type of numbers, but to be fair, I mean, sacked 46 times, sacked 31 times while not playing every game, I don't think. 46 is crazy. I didn't realize it was that many in 2022. But Kenneth Walker, almost 1,600 yards, 5.3 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Very good season. And DK Metcalf, 1,400 yards in 14 touchdowns. He's been a monster here. 1,000 yards for Tyler Lockett. He was the leading receiver at the midseason, but got passed up. JSN did well. Kenneth Walker did well. We're really not throwing to tight ends at all. Less than 400 yards for Noah Fant. And yep, there's the Charles Cross I know and love in this game. 12 sacks allowed. The rest of the O-line did very well. Benching Williams for Oluwatimi definitely worked out. And then Devin Witherspoon led the team with 97 tackles, 9 TFLs for Mafe and Hall, and sacks. 15 for Boye Mafe. 8 for Leonard Williams, 7 for Byron Murphy. Now, our pass rush, or at least our edge rushers outside of Mafe have not been great. Derek Hall, only 4 sacks last year. I guess he didn't play that much, it doesn't look like, but only 5.5 this year. That's not great. But interceptions, 4 for Kobe Bryant, 3 for Ernest Jones, 2 for Devin Witherspoon, and then 1 for a few players. Kobe Bryant actually could be our future starter at safety. I mean, assuming he gets star dev this year, which he should. I mean, hell, we could even do what I said they should maybe do and play him at outside corner. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Shocker. Ooh. Russell Wilson on the Jets at number 10. That's a fun one. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Brandon Ayuk. DK at number 5. Kenneth Walker at 7. I thought he had a chance to win it with how he was playing at the midseason, but only number 7. And of course, we get cucked. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year. Big surprise, but Boye Mafe at number 2. Definitely the best season I've ever seen him have in this game. Still not enough for Defensive Rookie of the Year, though. That's tough. Or Defensive Player of the Year. This is an interesting list. That's something. But Jalen Walker at number 9 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's fun, I guess. I didn't even see what he did at all, but he must have played a little bit. I tried to get him to play, but I didn't want to start him necessarily. What did he do, actually? What did he do? Hold on. Oh, okay. 61 tackles, a TFL, and half a sack. Not great, but at least he got tackles. But of course, we are in the playoffs here. And who are we going to be taking on in the divisional? It's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. How did we do against them in the regular season? Just out of curiosity. Oh, okay. Well, our first loss of the year was to them at the midseason. Cool, we got swept by them. That's fun. They were 2 of our 3 total losses this year. Cool, great. Surely this will go well. I mean, we're 4 overall better than them. I don't know that we deserve to be 14-3, but how the hell are they in the playoffs at an 81 overall? That's crazy. All right, let's see what happens. I will probably lose this, but we might not. Surely we won't get fully swept by the Cardinals this year. Okay, we don't. We beat them 24-18. Good. Again, I don't know that we deserve to be this good, but we at least deserve to win that game, and we maybe deserve to win this one too. I mean, we're slightly better than the Vikings in terms of overall. Either way, if we lose this, it's fine. Who's their QB, I wonder? I wonder if they kept Sam Darnold. One of the most interesting things I'm looking forward to this offseason, I'm interested to see what the Vikings are going to do at QB, because obviously Sam Darnold has been playing well, which I just want to say I called it heading into the year. Now, his stats have been good, but I mean, he's definitely been getting carried a little bit. I thought he would do better than he has been doing. Statistically, he's been doing well, but I don't know. He's had some moments. But they did move off of him here, and it looks like JJ McCarthy did pretty well, which he usually does in franchise. Was he up there for MVP? I feel like I saw him up there. Sorry, I'm yapping a lot in this rebuild. This is just an interesting rebuild so far. He wasn't up there for MVP. He was number 4 for best QB in the NFC, though, so that's interesting. So if we lose this game, it's fine. We don't lose, though. Oh yeah, I forgot that was the conference championship. I thought it was the divisional. We're going to the Super Bowl in year 2. I'm just the best rebuilder of all time. What can I say? We definitely didn't just get lucky. I mean, it wasn't a very high scoring game. We won 17-13, but we'll take it. And it looks like we're going to be facing the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. Uh-oh. Don't love that. They're an 88 overall to our 85. See, they deserve to be here. That's fine. We don't, at least based off of overall again. But we have a press conference. I don't click on many of these, but the Super Bowl one is, I mean, I don't know why I click on the Super Bowl one out of all of them, because it gives you +1 pass blocking for 1 player, like the worst upgrade of all time, or I guess run blocking if you want it. But why does Mike McDonald look so disheveled in Madden? I don't know. But let's jump into this Super Bowl. We'll watch it simulate, and we will see if we can already win a Super Bowl with this Seahawks team. Oh yeah, this is a revenge game. Well, not really, I guess revenge. Mike McDonald versus his former team. That somehow just clicked with me. But let's see if we can win our first Super Bowl of the rebuild already. We do take the lead early, 7-0. Wow, we just score back-to-back. 14-6 is the score in the second quarter. Ravens with 2 field goals. We're up 21-6 in the third. They do get another field goal, but we are up 24-9 heading into the fourth, 27-9. I mean, what is there to really say about this game? We're destroying the Ravens. This might be one of the best seasons I've ever had in Madden. I should show that I didn't like force win this game or anything. Or I don't think you can force win if you simulate or like watch the game simulate. I don't think it works. I think I tested that before, but I'm the best GM of all time. What can I say? We already won a Super Bowl. This might be the earliest we have won a Super Bowl in any rebuild I've ever done, at least realistic. I mean, we absolutely blasted the Ravens, who blasted the Eagles last year in the Super Bowl, so we're pretty good. JSN with 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who was Super Bowl MVP? I think it like shows in the little celebration thing. I just don't know who it is anymore. Also, Jalen Walker with a sack. That's really cool. Julian Love and Devin Witherspoon both had a pick. What a season. Are we gonna turn the Seahawks into a dynasty here? Can't wait to go 8-9 and miss the playoffs for no reason next year. But yeah, I didn't force win, obviously. Also, that seems like a random good performance from our offense. We were only putting up like 20 points per game the 2 weeks before, and then we come out with 41. That's crazy. But all right, let's get into another offseason, and let's see if we can go back to back. It's unlikely. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, there's a chance. Ooh, and the big question for this offseason is, do we try to replace Geno Smith? I mean, it's gonna be hard to get someone better than him in overall, but he did do really well in the Super Bowl. I don't know. He is down to a 75 overall too. Maybe we should look for a replacement, but we got some pretty good dev traits on defense. Ernest Jones and Boye Mafe went up to superstar. Kobe Bryant went up to star. That's cool. And then Devin Witherspoon went up to X Factor. On offense, I don't think we got any dev traits, unfortunately. I'm a little surprised Walker didn't get X Factor. I thought I saw him with X Factor though. Guess not. But all right, let's see who we're gonna have to re-sign this year. Definitely bringing Mafe back. I don't think he's gonna have as good of a year next year. He'll probably suck for no reason, but we'll see. We'll obviously pick up the 5th year for Witherspoon and I guess JSN. He hasn't been super great, but should we pick that up actually? Maybe, because he'll be our number 2 this year. We're gonna let Lockett go, unfortunately. So we'll pick up the 5th year for JSN. Boye Mafe really isn't that cheap at all, or isn't that expensive at all for the year he had. 4 years, 72 mil. He takes it. Abe Lucas was good. We'll go 2 years. I'll even go 3. 3 years, 49. Another very hit or miss player in franchise, but we'll see. But Connor Williams, Noah Fant, Tyler Lockett, I think we're gonna let go. Jake Bobo, I know Seahawks fans like him because he's a white receiver, but he's fine. He's not interested though. I'm just whatever. I mean, he's decent in real life, but he's 28 here. He's not gonna develop even if he did well. But yeah, I think we're good letting everyone go. So let's see if there's anything we want to do in free agency. In franchise, a lot of the time free agent classes are super weak. There's some interesting players here though. George Kittle being the big one. Now, if we actually use tight ends in this offense, I would sign him, but we don't. You know, it would be good to steal him from a division rival. It would be cursed, but it would be good. Terry McLaurin's also here. We do kind of need a 3rd receiver. I mean, that would be a little overkill, but to be fair, he's kind of regressed here. He's only an 86. He regressed kind of quick. There are a lot of teams interested in him though, it looks like. Not that interested though. That would be kind of fun. We could also just draft a receiver, but we only have 2 on the roster. But yeah, we could also just draft one, but I want to sign somebody because we still haven't. And we have other things we could draft too. So yeah, Terry McLaurin, we'll see if he signs. He's going to be the only player we go for because the rest of our issues we can fix through the draft, it seems like. But he does sign and we do get him. That's an interesting one. I mean, I kind of doubt that happens if we're being realistic, which maybe I should be realistic because this is a realistic rebuild, but it's hard to say any free agent signing is unrealistic because you never really know. But all right, let's get to the draft. We definitely have a few needs. Maybe I should sign somebody else, especially on the D-line. I mean, I like Howard Cross in real life. I just didn't realize he was going to be a 66 overall, so that's tough. There isn't really anyone I want too bad, though. I mean, maybe Harrison Phillips, but he's 30. I don't like to sign older players in franchise. Also, it looks like George Kittle signed to the Texans. Do they even need him? No, they still have Dalton Schultz and Cade Stover, who's fine. That's interesting. But all right, like I said, let's get to the draft, and we'll see what we can do. Wow, what a good draft class this is. Everyone's a top 5 talent. This game sucks so bad. Is there a way to fix this glitch where it shows everyone as a top 5 talent? I know it does it when you use a custom draft class, but is there any way to fix it for the future years? Well, it doesn't do it in the custom draft classes. It does it when you go back to using the generated ones, which is really cool, and I love that. I love this game. Let me know if you know a way to fix that, because I don't. But in the draft, this game hates the Broncos. They pick at number 2 again. The Titans have the number 1 pick this year. We pick at 32, of course. We won the Super Bowl for some reason. Oh, I need to pause the draft even even though I have the draft clock off. Again, love this game. I would also love to know how good these corners actually are, but we don't. Sheldon Flowers actually looks pretty good. Adding a corner with the last name Flowers to the Seahawks is a little bit scary, but I don't know, he looks pretty good. We do pretty desperately need a number 2 outside corner too, so we'll take him. Ranked number 1 in the class, apparently. I don't think he is. Actually, wait, I can't remember. I think it does some glitch with saying everyone's the best player in the class, even when they're not. We'll see with our next pick, because he looked good, but he didn't look that good. But all right, round 2. We could maybe go with a tight end. Taylor Wood looks pretty good. I don't love the acceleration, though, but he has great speed. He has really good ratings. He does look pretty good. We might have to take him. Yeah, I don't know if I see anyone else worth taking here. I mean, there are defensive tackles with elite strength, but I'm just bad at picking defensive tackles. They're never as good as they look to me. Yeah, we'll take one. Bobby Davenport, I see the pursuit in the hit power, I guess, and no pass rush. He's probably going to be bad, but we'll take a chance. Ranked number 1 in the class, apparently. Fun. And then round 3, the tight end's probably gone by this point. Is he? Yeah. I might go with a linebacker. Never mind, they all look kind of bad. Okay, this is a weird pick, but this guy looks maybe decent. I'm going to go with David Bryant at receiver. We don't really need a receiver, but I mean, to be fair, I don't know if there are many starters left that we could pick here. So we'll just go with someone that has A, catching traffic, A, catching, B, short route. Now, he has a few F ratings, so that's not ideal, but good speed, great acceleration. We'll take a chance. We got the best player in the class for the 3rd time in a row. We'll take it. That's huge. No dev trait. All right, whatever. But I think I'm done picking. We'll see what the CPU can do. Okay, actually a pretty solid draft. Sheldon Flowers is a 77. Where does that rank? Where's a 77? I mean, borderline top 5. I guess he's tied for 5th in overall, so of course he's the last ranked out of the 77 overalls, but I think that's just random, so like the 5 to 8 range, somewhere around there. The number 1 pick was an 82 overall, by the way. Damn. But yeah, pretty good first pick. Did he have a dev trait? I can't remember. I think he did, right? Yeah, so very good first round pick. Bobby Davenport is decent too. I mean, he also had hidden dev. I kind of thought he had normal for some reason, but 96 strength, 83 tackle, 73 block shed. We'll take it. He'll start for us. And then David Bryant is solid. 72 overall. We're in Tyler Lockett's number 16. I don't know about that one. Sure, we'll give him number 6. And then the CPU did something. It took a 65 overall tight end, another receiver, a linebacker, and another receiver. I guess we did need receiver depth, to be fair, so that's fine, but it's just weird how the CPU always picks the same positions over and over again. But all right, let's get into year 3. It's going to be hard to repeat this year, but anything's possible, I guess. I mean, I thought we were going to have a horrible record last year, and we won the Super Bowl, so we'll see. But okay, here we are heading into year 3. We're looking good. Maybe better than last year, technically. I mean, we're lower overall than we were at the end of last year, but I mean, we should develop throughout the year, hopefully. I mean, we will, but hopefully we can do well again. I think there's absolutely no chance we do as well as we did last year, but I mean, we'll see. We have an 85 overall offense and then an 84 overall defense. They've kind of evened themselves out a little bit. I'm surprised our offense got this much worse, though, because we were an 88 at the end of last year, right? I guess we just lost Connor Williams. Geno Smith regressed. We lost Noah Fant, but it should be fine. Oh, yeah, also, Russell Wilson was just a free agent. We're number 2. Let's not have that. This might be a little insane, but I'm thinking about starting him. He's a lower overall than Geno, but Geno hasn't been that good here. And I mean, Russ was up there for MVP on the Jets last year. Now on the Steelers, it doesn't look like he was as good, but we would definitely be bordering on very unrealistic if we started him, but it might be fun. I mean, he had maybe his best year ever last year, other than maybe 2020, but it's close, at least statistically. Geno had maybe his worst starting year because he threw 19 picks. I mean, at least worst starting on the Seahawks. You know what? We'll try it. We're really getting goofy here, but we'll try it. If he sucks, we'll bench him at the midseason, but we'll see what happens. But all right, let's get into the season. We should be good this year. I don't know if we will be, but we should be. But let's get to the midseason point, and hopefully we don't randomly suck, but you never know in Madden. Okay, we are technically a little worse at the midseason than last year, but we are 5-2. We'll take it. It's more realistic this year because we're actually a better team on paper. But Russell Wilson's doing okay. I guess he's doing better than Geno Smith was at this point last year. Kenneth Walker's doing pretty well. Okay, everything's going going mostly normal. Charles Cross sucks again. That's fun. Our lowest overall lineman is the one who has allowed 0 sacks. That's cool. Love this game. Nothing wrong with it. And Boye Mafe only has 3.5 sacks this year, but Derek Hall's randomly doing well. All right, cool. So there is a little bit of shenanigans happening, but nothing too crazy. But for re-signings, we have some pretty big ones. Again, for like the second year in a row. I guess not as big as last year, but I mean, last year was insane. That was like our entire team. But Ernest Jones, Charles Cross, Derek Hall, Julian Love, Leonard Williams, Olu Oluwatimi, Geno Smith, and Russell Wilson. So this is tough. We'll re-sign Ernest Jones. He's been good. A lot of Seahawks fans were super hyped about the trade. I was like okay with it. I don't know. He's a good player. It was a good value. I just feel like they have deeper issues with the team than trading for one player can fix. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. It's fine. It kind of reminds me, not necessarily of the Leonard Williams trade at the midseason last year, because that one was bad. That was way too much value to give up. This one was good. It's just like, I don't know that that's going to get you anywhere, but we'll see. When you have problems at every level of the defense, it's more than one trade can fix most of the time. But Charles Cross, I don't know. I mean, in real life, obviously you would extend him, but here he's on pace to allow 10 or 11 sacks. He allowed 12 last year, 9 the year before. In real life, that would be unacceptable, but in Madden, that's like average, maybe a little worse than average, but we'll wait until the end of the year. I mean, it worked out with Boye Mafe. I mean, he was a little more expensive than he would have been at the midseason, but he actually did well. Derek Hall, maybe the same deal because he's doing well this year, and plus he's not interested. Julian Love, we'll go 3 years, 34. That's fine. He doesn't take it. All right, cool. Speaking of Leonard Williams, I would go 1 year, 16. Up the years. What if I don't want to? We'll see. I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, we'll just wait on most players here. I doubt we're going to bring back everyone, but probably most of those guys. But all right, let's get to the end of year 3, and we will see how we do. I mean, we might go 3 for 3 on making the playoffs to start off this rebuild, which is crazy. Now that I say that, we're going to choke and miss the playoffs. I shouldn't have said anything, but we'll see. But okay, here we are at the end of year number 3. And as I always say, if you've seen one of these rebuilds before, y'all know why we're here. Super quick before I reveal how we did in year number 3. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what type of rebuild I should do next. And question of the day. I had a good one, but I forgot. Oh, I remember what it was. I kind of said this earlier in the rebuild, or I mentioned who my answers are, but question of the day, who do you think has been the most surprisingly good or bad team in the NFL so far this year? Let me know that down in the comments. I would definitely answer the Commanders. I thought they would be the worst team in the league because I didn't know about Dan Quinn as a coach, and I did not think that roster was set up great for a rookie QB, but I mean, apparently it was fine enough. They're one of the better teams in the league. I feel like I asked this question of the day earlier in the year, and my answer at the time was the Saints. That was when the Saints had like a 2-week just insane stretch, and then they went back to kind of being what I expected. But yeah, let me know who you think the most surprising team has been this year down in the comments. But at the end of year 3, we're looking good. We're up to an 87 overall. Now, unfortunately, we didn't really get any good dev traits. Actually, we got one. I take that back. Cameron Bates, a random tight end the CPU picked, has superstar dev. Don't know why, but sure. Don't know that he's ever really going to see the field. I mean, I guess we could try him next year, but yeah, we might. We'll see. But in year number 3, we finished 9-8. We absolutely tried to miss the playoffs. I don't know why, but I kind of just felt like we would have a disappointing second half of the year, and we absolutely did. We went from 5-2 to 9-8, so that's 4-6 in the second half of the year. Not ideal. It's kind of realistic though. I mean, the Seahawks the last few years have been starting decent and then just going on a big losing streak and then getting back to being decent, and then just they get absolutely destroyed in the wild card a lot of the time. I mean, that might have just been one time. I'm thinking of the 49ers game a couple years ago, but I don't know. It just seems like the Seahawks are always streaky, so I feel like this is fair. But let's check out our season stats. Russell Wilson was actually decent. This is a really similar year to the one that Geno had last year. A lot less yards, though, but 32 touchdowns, 19 picks. He was okay. He only got sacked 22 times, though. Kenneth Walker, almost 1,500 yards, 4.7 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Good year. 1,000 yards for DK, almost 1,000 for Terry McLaurin. I honestly kind of forgot we had him. 12 touchdowns for JSN, only 280 yards for AJ Barner. That's fun. We really are just allergic to throwing to the tight end, I guess. I don't know. And then Charles Cross, his classic 10 sacks. Love that. But on defense, Ernest Jones, 101 tackles, led the team. TFLs, 13 for Byron Murphy. And sacks, 9 for Derek Hall. He kind of cooled off, and then Boye Mafe picked it up, so we'll take that, 9 from each. But interior pressure was way down this year, so maybe we should let Leonard Williams go. I don't know. But interceptions, 4 for Ernest Jones and Devin Witherspoon, 3 for Tariq Woolen, 2 for Derek Hall and Kobe Bryant, and then 1 for a couple players. I'm like running out of breath trying to talk too quick. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes, not MVB. Jaden Reed wins Offensive Player of the Year. Derek Hall at number 7 for Defensive Player of the Year. David Bryant at 6 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Cameron Bates at 8. Both were backups, but I guess we'll take it. And then nobody up here for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hold on. What did either of our rookies on defense do? Because we had a couple. We had Sheldon Flowers. He only had tackles, 52 tackles, so not great. And then Bobby Davenport, 15 tackles. 5 TFLs, though, and a sack and a half. He was decent for, I guess he played 500 snaps. Okay. He only got 15 tackles. Interesting. But we are, of course, in the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. I don't think we're going very far this year, but we are a 9-8 team in the playoffs in Madden, so that's a superpower. We'll see. We're going to be taking on Madden's favorite team, though, the Dallas Cowboys. They're not as broken as they used to be in other Madden games. I would argue that's kind of the Ravens this year. I mean, to be fair, we did just smoke them in the Super Bowl, but they have already been in 2 and won 1, so I don't know. But let's see if we can beat the Cowboys here. I doubt it, but maybe. No. Okay, cool. I mean, to be fair, we're the better team on paper. We just did not play like it this year. But let's get into what could be the second to last offseason, and we are finally gonna get a new QB this year. I guess we had a new one this year, but a rookie this year. Also, we had a Jags-Cowboys Super Bowl. Okay. 2 teams with not the best coaching staffs ever, but decent rosters, I guess. But I guess we'll re-sign Charles Cross, kind of because we have to. He's been not great, not really worth this money, but it isn't too bad. 3 years, 73. He takes it. We'll pick up the 5th year for Byron Murphy. Derek Hall, I don't know. I'm surprised he got superstar dev. He was good this year, but is 9 sacks superstar worthy? I guess he also got a couple picks, but I'm not re-signing an edge rusher because they got 2 picks. You know what I mean? Get more sacks and I'll re-sign you. I don't know. I just don't trust a repeat there. Plus, he's not interested. I think we'll let him go. Julian Love has actually been pretty good, though. I guess this is the first year he hasn't had an interception in his career, it looks like. That's interesting. I mean, I think I'll just offer him what I offered him at the midseason. 3 years, 28. He does take it this time. That's fine. And then everyone else, Leonard Williams, I mean, if he takes 1 year, 1 year, 17, he doesn't. All right, whatever. Nuosu, I'm fine. He's hurt all the time. I mean, injuries are off here, but still, he's a backup. Alua Timmy's actually been good. I'll re-sign him. His overall isn't that good, but he's been playing well. And then Russell Wilson, I do think we're going to let go. Same with Geno Smith. He didn't really regress that much this year, but still did a little bit. We're going to need to sign some new depth. I mean, this is a lot of players leaving. But all right, let's get into free agency, and we could also sign a QB. I mean, I already said it as our focus position, so probably won't, but... Ooh, okay, there's Jordan Love. I would maybe think about it, but I did just use him in a Rams rebuild, so we shouldn't. But Aiden Hutchinson is here. It would be hard to get him probably, but also he had 26.5 sacks, because that's realistic. Thanks, Madden. Sure. But yeah, I'm interested, obviously. So are the Steelers, though. Oh, we can't get him. I mean, we'll try, but it's going to be hard to compete with the Steelers. There are lots of Ravens here, which I guess is fitting. I thought the Seahawks were going to go for a lot of Ravens free agents in the offseason, but did they sign any? I don't think they did. But we could go for Kyle Hamilton. That might be kind of fun. Kobe Bryant had 0 pass deflections at free safety. That's tough. He had a couple picks, though. I don't know if safety's our biggest need. I mean, we kind of need a safety on paper, but they've been playing good, been playing well. Just last year, we needed interior pressure, but there isn't really anyone here that helps us with interior pressure, at least. How does Keon White do, actually? Not great. I might just re-sign Leonard Williams for 1 year, see if he finally wants to re-sign. But other than that, I think we're good. We're not going to sign a QB. I guess we can re-sign Geno as a backup, though, actually. That's fine. But okay, these 3 players, I bet we'll get these 2, but I don't think we'll get Aiden Hutchinson. But we might as well try. We do get Leonard Williams, and Aiden Hutchinson goes to the Colts. It's always a random team. If we have the lead for a player, usually they do sign with us, but if another team has the lead for a player, they just sign with someone random. I don't know why. Well, I want to sign someone. Should we just re-sign Derek Hall? I mean, he has offers now. How does Bryce Huff do? He's been pretty bad for the Eagles. It looks like he's been pretty bad here too. Okay. Well, I don't really think there's a pass rusher here worth signing. So let's get to the draft. Ooh, also Kobe Bryant got superstar dev. That's cool. But yeah, let's get to the draft and let's hopefully find our QB of the future. I think I'm going to cheat. I'm going to check the draft class and see what QB is the best because, I mean, we should know. We have them all scouted, but it's going to show them all as top 5 talents. So I'll go in and look. I'm not going to check dev traits though, but I'll just see which one's the highest overall. I'll only look at QBs and maybe other players we focus scout, but I'll try not to look at players we haven't focus scouted. It's going to be hard not to cheat because to look at them, you have to look at other players, but I don't know. I'll see. I wouldn't have to do this if the game worked as it should. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of the game working how it should, that took a long time to load. That was interesting. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 19 this year, and we might trade up. It's a decent QB class. I looked at the QBs. Of course, it's showing them all as top 5 talents because the game doesn't work. Let me see. So Manning is a 74 overall. Banks and Swinney are both 73s, and D. Napoli, I see that last name so much in this game. Why? Who even has that last name? I think I have heard it before, but like, I don't know. He's a 72, and then there's a big drop off. The next best is Cloud at a 66. So Tim Cloud is kind of a crazy name. I kind of like that. So yeah, I mean, either we're trading up for a good QB or we're not getting a good QB. I guess we could take D. Napoli, but like, he's not that good. I don't know. Manning is projected to go at number 7 though, and you know what? We'll see. If he lasts past number 7, we'll take him. There goes Banks. There goes Bush. Hunter's still available. I read Hunter. I meant Manning is still available. It would be kind of expensive to move up here, though. I mean, it is for a QB, but they would definitely take him, too. Actually, would they? I don't think they would. I mean, they shouldn't, but they still might, because this game's stupid. Let me see. Okay, they don't. I don't think the Chargers would either. I would assume they still have Justin Herbert. They do. I would hope they won't take a backup here. The next team was the Falcons. They still have Michael Penix. I don't think either of these teams are going to take a QB unless they're stupid. Okay, how about the Browns or the Commanders? Okay, they might. I mean, they probably shouldn't because I already have Max Carl, who's young, but he isn't great. Okay, I think we'll trade up with the Browns. It should be a lot cheaper, or at least a little cheaper. We'll give up a 2nd round pick to move up to number 11. We'll also get a 7th just so we don't lose any picks, technically. And let's go with, if he has normal dev, I'm going to be really upset. Let's go with Ron Manning. Not exactly looking like the other Mannings at QB, but he looks decent. He has decent ratings. I like the elite throw power, but C throw on the run, C short accuracy. I mean, I already know he's the best QB in this class, at least in terms of overall, but he might have normal dev. I kind of have that feeling. He's ranked number 1, apparently. Does have hidden dev. Okay, cool. He's a 74 overall. I already know that. We'll take it. That was worth it, I think. I mean, there's a world he was still available by number 19, or at least a decent QB would have been, but, you know, why not trade up for the best one? Almost pressed end of draft. I'm always paranoid about accidentally simulating to the end of the draft, trying to skip to the next pick, but I don't think I've ever really done it. Maybe only once or twice. But let's see. There were a couple good 2nd round D linemen, but unfortunately, you know, we traded our 2nd round pick. I don't really know that anyone else here is going to help us all that much. I might take Daniel Cruz. He looks pretty good. I think I did cheat and see that he's a decent overall, but looking at him, I would probably take him anyways. I mean, A awareness, A tackle, A zone. We don't really need a linebacker, but I don't really know if we're fixing any immediate needs in the mid to late 3rd. So yeah, we'll take him. Why not? Actually, we do maybe need an off-ball linebacker. No dev trait though, damn it, but I think we'll start him this year. And then let's see. I looked at the receivers for a second. I didn't look at these guys though. They don't look that good. I was looking at someone earlier projected who's already gone, so I don't even remember what their overall was, to be fair. I might just simulate the rest of the draft out again. I don't really see anyone that looks too great. Let's see. I thought I saw a corner with a man. Maybe they already got taken. There's one with a press. Don't know what his man is, but speed check. Poor acceleration, decent speed. Okay, I've seen receivers with worse 40 times that have like great speed and elite acceleration for some reason. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying. Or did I say receivers? I meant corners. I don't know. He has elite jumping though. I don't really know what else to do, so sure. He's probably horrible. Normal dev, but we'll see what it is. He's the best player in the class. I don't know. Pretty good pick. At least it seems like. Again, if you know a way to fix the glitch where it just tells you everyone's the best player in the class, please let me know. But okay, Ron Manning is a 74 overall, like I thought. Or well, not like I thought. I literally have a screenshot of the QBs. Daniel Cruz is a 73. He's pretty good. I thought I saw a 74, so maybe this isn't the same guy, but I mean, either way, he's good. And then LaShawn Brown actually isn't horrible. 71. I don't know what the CPU did. A whole lot of nothing, but overall, not the best class on paper, but this just wasn't a good class, to be fair. There were 3 good running backs, a good corner, and then that's about it. But I mean, we got the best QB in the class, so can't really complain too much. But let's get into year 4, the second to the last year of this rebuild, and hopefully we can bounce back after a pretty terrible end to last year. But okay, heading into year 4, we are now up to an 86 overall. We're looking good. Not really that crazy on paper, at least in terms of overall, but to be fair, we've just not had that high of a QB in terms of overall, so maybe we can have that by the end of the year. That would definitely help our overall. We'll see. I am worried about the pass rush this year, though. I moved Walker back to edge. We'll see how he does now as a starter. I mean, I guess he was a starter at linebacker last year, but now as a starter at edge. We don't really have much depth there, though. I don't know. Our interior pressure should hopefully be better this year, though. But you never really know how you're going to do with a rookie QB. So this could be the first year we miss the playoffs. We shouldn't, because we're, still a really good team. I do want to check, where do we rank as an 86 overall, though? Okay, some of the teams aren't loading. That's cool, but, oh, we're actually pretty high up there. The Eagles are an 88. The Jets are an 86. The Texans are an 87. So we're tied for 3rd for overall. Okay, maybe we should be really good this year, because I would guarantee we're the youngest out of those teams. We could be the highest overall team in the league by the end of the year. I mean, we'll see. Oh, it looks like the Jets cut Bobby Wagner. How bad is he? Oh, okay. I was gonna say if he's still decent, he might be fun depth, but yeah, probably not. But okay, we'll see how we do this year. Let's get to the mid-season point of the second to last year, and hopefully we do okay. I mean, hopefully we do really well, but we're overdue for a down year. I guess you could argue that was last year, but usually there's at least 1 year in rebuilds where we really underperform. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we'll see. Okay, yep, good call. We are 3-4 with tied for the 3rd highest overall team in the league. That's cool. No, really, that's really cool. All right, what's happening? We're throwing a lot of picks, no matter who we have in at QB. 9 picks for Ron Manning. I mean, it's more understandable for a rookie, but still. Kenneth Walker's been good. JSN is our leading receiver. Interesting. Charles Cross doing his best to be horrible. I don't know. I mean, this is just a Madden simulation moment. You can tell years that are like scripted to be bad because everything is going wrong despite having good players. All right, let's get this year over with. I don't think there's much we can do to fix it. We'll just go for year 5. But Devin Witherspoon will resign. He's really cheap. JSN will resign, also very cheap. Christian Haynes, he's been kind of ass this year, but all of our linemen have been. He resigns. Kobe Bryant really hasn't developed at all, even though he has superstar dev. I mean, he's been good though, so we'll resign him again. Plus, he's cheap. And then I think we're good after that. Maybe Leonard Williams, but probably not. Okay, let's get to the end of the year. We'll see what happens. Okay, well, actually, at the end of year number 4, we finished 10-7, and we make the playoffs. So basically, we just had the opposite of what happened last year. Last year, we started 5-2, finished 4-6. This year, we started out bad, 3-4, and then we ended up going 7-3 in the second half of the year. So yeah, we just basically did the opposite of what we did last year. We'll take that. I'd rather have it be that way. But okay, I see what at least one of our big problems was. Ron Manning, 3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns, but 19 interceptions. interceptions. Also sacked 37 times. That's fun. But Kenneth Walker was a monster. Almost 1,700 yards, 5.7 per carry, 16 touchdowns. 1,000 yards for McLaurin, almost 1,000 for Metcalf. I wish Metcalf was our number one, but I mean, he was number one for touchdowns at least. Not receptions or yards though. But 850 for JSN, we'll take it. But blocking, all right. What do I do about this? What do we do? Charles Cross is the second highest overall left tackle, a pure pass blocker, by the way, allowing 16 sacks in a year. Fun. This is the Charles Cross I know and love in Madden. What can we do about this? I mean, we should probably bench him, right? For the playoffs, but I don't know who we would even bench him for. We don't really have much depth. I don't know, we'll see. But Ernest Jones, 129 tackles, led the team, 18 TFLs for Byron Murphy, 11 for Walker, 10 for Mafe, but sacks? Our defense really, it's had its moments, but for pressure at least, it has not been great. 7.5 for Mafe, 7 for Walker, 5.5 for Murphy, but like that's it. And then 4 interceptions for Witherspoon, 2 for Cruz as a rookie. He did pretty well. And then 1 for a few players. All right, well, let's see. Metcalf at 7 for Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody up here for defensive, obviously, but we get cucked, of course. Ron Manning at 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Raphael Hunt wins it for the Giants. Probably a QB. I think that's a QB face. I don't know if there are faces that are designated for certain positions, but I feel like I see a lot of QBs with that face. I might just be lying, but that's what I feel like. No way. All right, this just wasn't our year. We get double cucked. Daniel Cruz at 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Fun. That's unlucky. Well, let's see. We'll bench Charles Cross, at least. I don't know who for. Connor Colby. I mean, he kind of has a tackle build. I don't know how I feel about that, but we might as well try something different. I don't feel great about it. Is he, you know, I'm not even sure that a lot of the players in the real life draft classes that I'm using are projected to go this year, or, I mean, it's hard to say at this point who's going to declare, but is Connor Colby someone that's projected to get drafted? Let me see. Draft projection, NFL draft buzz. What do you say? 5th round? Okay, he is projected to get drafted, at least by them. Tankathon says nothing. Okay, cool. I've just been looking at a bunch of different sites and trying to find like a consensus. And then NFL mock draft database says UDFA. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe draftable. We'll see if we'll see how he does. Also, wait, I want to check a few things about our defense. Where were we for yards? I guess we could have just looked at the one thing. We were 8th. Okay, we were actually good for yards. How about sacks? We had 30, which was like bottom 12. Yeah, like bottom 10 to 12. We did have a good amount of fumble. I'm assuming this means recoveries and not just forced fumbles, but for picks, we weren't great. Is our defense kind of an issue? I mean, it doesn't seem great. It doesn't seem bad, but it doesn't seem great. I mean, if anything, our pass game on offense has been an issue, but it's hard to say that these playbooks are bad because we've won a Super Bowl. I don't know. I think we're just gonna hope that this was a certified EA moment and this was just a year that was kind of stacked against us, but also we're in the playoffs, so we can't really say that. I don't know. But we're gonna be taking on the Eagles in the wild card. We're the better overall. They were an 88 at the beginning of the year, but they just regressed, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes if you're playing against a team, it shows their overall as lower than when you're not playing them, which is weird. So maybe that's what's happening, but let's see what happens. Can we beat the Eagles? We do. Okay, I was fully prepared to say no. I'm such an optimistic person. We won 42-41. Okay, maybe our defense is an issue or something. I don't know, but our offense did really well. If we get a ton of points put up on us against the Vikings, we might switch our defensive playbook. I don't know. But we are 4 overall better than the Vikings here. We're an 89 now to their 85. I do think we have the highest overall team in the league. Let me see. Yeah, the Eagles are back to an 88. See what I mean? It's weird. But yeah, we are the highest overall team. The Steelers are an 88. That's interesting. The Chiefs are an 88 and the Colts are an 88. Oh yeah, because they got Aiden Hutchinson, of course. Stole him from us. Imagine if we had him. We would have been like insanely good, assuming he actually did as well as he should have, which probably not, but probably better than what we had in terms of pass rush. But anyways, I'm just rambling. Can we beat the Vikings and move on to another conference championship? We do beat them. We put up 42 on offense again. So apparently our offense isn't the issue, at least in the playoffs. Oh yeah, and wait, I want to check how Connor Colby's doing. Is that his name? Yeah. I mean, apparently pretty well. It seems like it unlocked our offense. No sacks allowed in the first game. Haynes and Oluwatimi allowed one though. And then none allowed against the Vikings. I definitely don't trust him to start next next year, but doing better than Cross did. I mean, it's a small sample size, but still. But all right, we are going to be facing the 49ers in the conference championship. We are the better team on paper. We have the same record, but it looks like we did better statistically on both offense and defense. The only thing they had better than us was the pass game. So, I mean, we should be able to beat them here. I don't know that we will, but we should. So let's see if we can beat the 49ers and move on to another Super Bowl. Don't know. We don't. We lose 31-20. Honestly, 41, 28, 31. That's like 34 points per game allowed, I would guess. Actually, what is that? Let me see. Either way, that's not great. That's 33.3. I don't know. Our defense has had its moments, and it was like pretty good during the regular season. The points weren't great, though. That's the only thing. I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't mess with it after being in the conference championship. We'll leave it. Could backfire, but like we've already won a Super Bowl anyways, so why risk it? Well, I guess that would be a reason to risk it. No, I don't know. But we had a Bills 49ers Super Bowl. Interesting. What is it, 1992? The 49ers did win it 31-17. Interesting. Not much else I have to say about that other than interesting. You know, don't love to see it as a Seahawks fan, but still. But all right, heading into the final offseason of this rebuild, we'll pick up the 5th year for Tyler Booker. He's quietly been one of our best players. I mean, this year wasn't great, but only 3 sacks allowed last year, which for real life is fine, but in Madden, that's really good at left guard. 5 as a rookie. So we'll pick up the 5th year if it'll let me. And then other than that, I think we're good. Was there anyone else here I wanted? I can't remember. There's Leonard Williams, but So yeah, I think we're good. So let's get into free agency, and we should make some moves this year. We might as well. I'm going to restructure or release as many players as I can. Is there anyone that would be worth releasing? No, not really. So let me just restructure every deal, and we'll see how much money we end up with. Probably a pretty good amount. But okay, this is a really interesting trade, and this could really backfire if we don't replace him, or at least if we don't replace him with the right player, but we are going to be trading Charles Cross. In real life, I would not do this, so this breaks the realism. But there are some things you have to do in Madden that break realism because the game itself is very much not realistic. The second highest overall tackle in the league, a pure pass blocker allowing 16 sacks. Seems realistic to me, definitely. So we're going to be trading him to the Falcons, and we're going to get a 1st and a 4th. With how he's been playing, that's not worth it for the Falcons, but at least on paper, this is probably a good deal for the Falcons. I mean, the 2nd best left tackle in the league, who's still only like 27 at this point or something. 1st and a 4th, that doesn't seem bad. I don't know. So yeah, again, that could backfire if we don't replace him well enough, but he was horrible anyways, so don't know how much of a difference it would make even if we don't replace him well. We'll put Colby over there for now, but we'll see. Ooh, we also got some good dev traits. I didn't even look, but holy. Okay, Ernest Jones and Boye Mafe both went up to X Factor. I don't know why. Like, why? What was the reason? He just got it. Okay, cool. He wasn't that good. He had 10 TFLs, sure, but like 7.5 sacks. Like, that's fine, but as the number 1, you would hope for a little better than that. And then Jalen Walker went up to Superstar. That's interesting. We might have to look for an edge rusher. We'll see. And Byron Murphy finally went up to Superstar Dev. That's cool. But all right, let's check out free agency. Also, I realized that trading away Charles Cross kind of hurt us for cap space, but whatever. Okay, it's a decent free agent class, it looks like. Let me look through here and we'll see what we want to do. I think I already have a pretty good idea though. But okay, we are, like I said, we're spending some money. We might as well. I mean, it's the final year. We're going crazy. We are gonna try to sign Dalton Kincaid, Terrion Arnold. I scrolled back up to Dalton Kincaid, so I guess we're trying to sign him twice. I don't know. Oh, my controller's having an issue. I don't know what that was. That was interesting. Is it okay now? Maybe. Alex Highsmith, Kingsley Suamataia, and then Rook Orororo. Some hard names to say. But yeah, are all these players necessary? Not really, but would they be upgrades? Yes. And some of these guys are necessary, like Suamataia and maybe Highsmith. It depends on how well he does, but the reason we're signing him is because, I guess I'll show it, he apparently had 19 sacks last year, and getting 19 sacks apparently isn't enough to get you Superstar Dev, which is insane. He still has star. Also, Montez Sweat had 19.5 sacks. sacks. So I don't know what the pass rushers were eating this year. I don't know what was in the water, but neither of them got superstar dev. So love this game. But all right, these 5 players, do they want to sign? Okay, everybody signs except Rook Ororo, and we get all 4 of them. So Dalton Kincaid, Terrion Arnold, Alex Highsmith, and Kingsley Suamataia are all Seahawks. That's a big class. Rook, do you want to sign? He does. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, well, he was a 77 overall. I don't really care. I don't even know if he would have seen the field much. But I'm feeling good about the team. I don't really know what the point of signing Terrion Arnold was, because we already had 3 good corners, but maybe we'll move someone to safety. But, like, Kobe Bryant has done well, too. I don't know. I guess he's just not that good of an overall. He's been fine the last couple of years. He was really good in year 2. I might just move a corner to safety and then Bryant to corner. I don't know. We'll see. But all right, let's get to the draft. The final draft of this rebuild, no matter what happens. Again, we already have our Super Bowl. We're just trying to get a second. And we'll have to see what we want to do in the draft. I mean, we have 2 first-round picks. We could even trade for someone if we wanted to. Maybe we should. That might not be a bad idea. We'll see. I'm having some interesting ideas that aren't exactly realistic, but I don't know. Okay, the poor Broncos, man. They have the #1 pick. What happened? I need to see. I mean, I can tell you what happened. The Seahawks scamming them. Let's go. But like, how have they been so bad? Bo Nix, really? I mean, he was good a couple years ago. This last year, a little questionable, but I wouldn't say he's been the problem. Ooh, that's an interesting receiving core. Not the best. Ooh, not the best O-line either. Okay, I kind of understand. I don't know how this team got like this, but the offense doesn't look great. I was thinking about trading these picks away, but I don't really know who to trade for at this point. Like, I don't really think we need another pass rusher. I don't think we need really, I mean, we could trade for a D lineman maybe, but we just don't really have cap space anymore either. We spent most of it. So I think we're just going to stay put. We pick at 12. We're obviously going to go with a D lineman. Of course, looked because the game is bad. And who are the good ones? Let me see. It looks like Gore is good, but he's already gone. Or no, he isn't. He's a 75 overall. Looks pretty good. There's also Wharton, who's a 74. Hall is a 74. These 2. And then I didn't screenshot this side because this side was better. I guess we'll just go with Gore as the first pick. I mean, this isn't going to be the best pick ever because he's projected to go at 20, but, or wait, 27. Wait, what? Okay, well, the thing I'm looking at says pick 20 in the first round. This says 49 now. I don't know what happened. Whatever. We'll take him. Wait. Oh, no, this is so, there were 2 Gores? Why were there 2 Gores? What? The other Gore is gone. This guy's a 73 overall. Ezekiel Gore. The other guy is Jay Gore. Oh my God. Okay, well, he's still okay. He isn't horrible, at least. That's, oh, he literally went the pick. Why? Why are there 2? Whatever. Jason Gore was the other one. The better one. All right, whatever. I might take another one just because. Let me see. There was Wharton. He's gone. Hall is still here. He's a 74. Is this the right one? Jay Hall. This is Jay Hall. Okay, sure. He also has a dev trait, so now we should have some good depth at least. So I guess we probably would have taken 2 anyways. Probably those 2, to be fair, because those were pretty much the 2 best available. So that's fine. I've had some weird drafting in this rebuild. I mean, it kind of gets thrown off when we use the custom draft classes because the game is broken and it breaks the game. But all right, I think we're good on drafting. I mean, this team is pretty complete. It'd be hard to find anything else that would immediately help us. Blake Harris looks like a good run defender. Sure, why not? Ranked #1 in the class. Let's go. No dev trait. Okay, cool. All right, I'm done drafting. I should probably pick a lineman, actually. Just try to find a decent one, but we'll see how we did. Okay, we did all right in the draft. I mean, we knew what we were getting into picking these 2. I still can't believe there were 2 Gores, both at right end, both projected to go around the same spot. Only 2 overalls different. Like, that's fine. Whatever. Jamal Hall's pretty good. He'll start. And then Blake Harris, he's actually really good. 75 overall. I figured he looked like a really good run defender. This was a horrible class. I guess I did kind of cheat because looking at the defensive ends, I was like, wow, there's nobody good. And then I looked at the outside linebackers because we had some of them scouted and I was like, wow, there's nobody good. So I went and checked and yeah, there's nobody good. The best was a 77 overall. This was one of the worst classes I've ever seen. Darian Banfield, that's a fun name, I guess. This was this was disgusting. There were a few good D linemen, but they all went in the top 5, so that's tough. And Jason Gore, who went 1 pick before us. Oh, he wasn't the right type anyways. He was an edge rusher. Okay, that's fine. Never mind. We did literally about as well as we could have if we won 2 D linemen for some reason. All right, we'll take it. But let's get into the final year. Feeling pretty good about the team, and hopefully we can make the playoffs for the 5th year in a row. We'll see. But okay, here we we are heading into the final year. We're looking really nice, honestly. Up to an 88 overall, this team still mostly resembles the Seahawks. I mean, still a decent amount of Seahawks players here. We have an 89 overall offense, only an 87 defense, but I mean, we should have a good pass rush. We, I guess, have a few rookies that could get some decent playing time. We'll see. So it should develop a little bit. Just I would say the biggest question for this final year is, how is Ron Manning gonna do? Because he wasn't great last year at all. I mean, he did okay for a rookie, but just way too many picks. Honestly, through the preseason, he was not great. That's kind of concerning. I don't know what we can do about that at this point, but it is a little concerning. So we'll have to see. This could be a great final year. This could be a really underwhelming final year, but either way, it is gonna be the final year for sure. We got our ring. We're going for 2. So hopefully it'll happen, but let's get to the end of year 5 and we will see how this team does. I don't know if I have a ton of hope, but we should be good being an 88 overall team. Okay, well, here we are at the end of year number 5. And I mean, how do I even build suspense here? I don't know. Let's see. We're an 89 overall team, right? Let me see where that ranks in the league real quick. An 89 is, I guess, tied for the highest overall team. The Colts are also an 89. So yeah, we're tied for the highest overall team. Let's check out our stats real quick. Okay, Ron Manning was actually pretty good, better than last year. Still way too many picks, but better. Kenneth Walker, almost 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5.4 per carry. Really good year. DK, almost 1,300 yards. He's been insane, by the way. I might check some of the career totals for a second after this. That would be kind of fun. But blocking was really good. How many sacks did? Only 26 sacks allowed. I benched Oluwatimi at the midseason for Connor Colby, and he definitely did better. He's been like the random player that we've developed to be decent here. Also, Christian Haynes joins the all-castration team. No sacks allowed. I feel like it's been a while since we've had someone allow 0 sacks. I don't know why. Probably because we have good overall linemen usually, and good overall players, especially on the O-line, don't do well in this game. But Ernest Jones, 96 tackles, TFLs 11 for Highsmith, Murphy, and Davenport, and sacks 11.5 for Mafe, 9.5 for Murphy, 8 for Highsmith, only half a sack for Jalen Walker. Oh, it looks like he didn't play much. Well, no, he played 300 snaps. All right. But picks 3 for Witherspoon, 2 for Mustafa as a backup. All right. And then 1 for a few players. I doubt we're really going to have anyone for yearly awards, but I guess we'll check. I guess Hall at number 10 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But let's check out career totals here before I show y'all what happened in the final year. Kenneth Walker almost at 10,000 yards already, 4.9 per carry, 80 touchdowns. DK Metcalf over 11,000 yards, 105 receiving touchdowns, almost 10,000 for Terry McLaurin too. Getting close to 5,000 for JSN, that's crazy. 807 career tackles for Ernest Jones, 80.5 sacks for Alex Highsmith, 61 for Boye Mafe. Pretty good numbers. But all right, just know I tried my best. Again, tied for the highest overall team in the league, but we finish 8-9 again with the highest overall team in the league. You hate to see it.